Hello builders, my name is G. I've got a quick video here to talk about something and do a video that I don't typically do, and I wanted to go over a situation, a tricky situation that came up in one of my projects as I was coding it, and I thought it would be interesting to kind of share what was going on as I see that I need to add something. Thank you, cursor. Or is it? Oh, it's windsurf. I'm so on my MacBook. I was using cursor on my, this is my main desktop where I do all the recordings. I'm still using windsurf. I actually just canceled my windsurf subscription, whatever it's called. It sucks now. It's totally useless. So I don't know why I'm still using it, but this will actually be probably the documented time that I use it before I actually delete windsurf. So that aside, that's a whole separate ball of wax. What I was doing was going back in and realizing that from the source code that I used to create the Poke to Work website here, which is just basically a Kanban board built in the style of Trello, which is based off of the Coding with Antonio tutorial. As you can probably tell, if you compare what his looks like and mine, I've made what I hope to be enhancements. Some people could say the opposite, but in my opinion, I've done better. And one of the things that he commonly uses throughout his project is server actions. And now that I'm using TRPC and TanStack query, I want to start using React hooked forms. As you can see, the library here, React hooked forms, and actually, I just wanted to shout them out real quick while I was talking about it, right? So, with shadcn and its basic form components, it's using React hook form, and there's a bunch of different pieces, and you can read all the advertisement yourself. But the most important thing about it is that it fits with Zod. So I can match what I am providing in TRPC. So if I go over to TRPC, here it is, server, routers, and I just go in a board, right? So here I'm creating a board, and there's a bunch of stuff in here. But you can see that my inputs here, which generally when you're working with forms and TRPC, the output of a form gets stuck in to a mutation that you create in TRPC. So in this case, this one actually works. I've tested it, and I can just demo it to you in a second. Updating a list is based off of the update list mutation that I've created. And basically in this onSubmit, I take the form data, right, which I've declared in this schema up here, and basically provide something that matches what is expected within this same Zod object. So technically, if I wanted to level myself up, which I might do in the future, I haven't thought of an elegant way to do it, to have a shared place to have these input values, just because, like, where would I import it from? I mean, I guess I could have it here at the bottom of this router, or at the top, I guess. Depending on how you look at or want to look at it, and then export that as well from the router. But I think that looks kind of messy. So instead of having this form schema be written over and over again, I can just use the same one that I apply to this input field here. So, it's a future conversation for a future day, but the basic thing is to set up, hey, these are what the default values, which you can populate them with props, or you can grab them from a hook. These are just your default values, which are then passed into via this, fields object here, and you spread them into a form input. And if I'm going to open up the form input real quick, here, it's a forward ref. The reason I use a forward ref is if I have a different part of the UI, a parent component, it should be able to, quote-unquote, focus. So basically, a focus state, if I go into the app here real quick, So like a focus state would be, hey, this input right here, if I click onto it, I'm able to edit it. It's considered focused. And if I click out of it, that's considered on blur. I don't know who came up with this terminology. There's probably a reason for why it is. But yeah, to click on something is to focus in on it. And so, I don't know if there's okay, if I had a rename button, I could hit rename list, which would then focus this header, right? Another example is here. If I hit add button here, it now puts focus on, quote unquote, this card form here. And I don't have my webcam on, so you can't see me doing the little quotes, but every single time I say on focus or on blur, just see me doing the quote unquote, right? So if I click out of the card form here, it disappears, and that's on blur. So, wherever the card form is, I'm not going to open the exact one, but you can see I have an invocation of on blur here, and the field already has one for on focus, wherever I'm doing the focus right here. Here it is, input ref, right, dot current dot focus. So I'm saying that if we enable the editing, right, then we are focusing on this form input. And the reason for that is this is the piece of UI here. All it is just displaying the old name, which is a state. So basically, I hold the value of what the old name is, and until I submit it, then I'll update the old name with the new old name, I guess, right? Because even though it's the new name, it is now the old name for the next time you want to access the input. So when we click on this, right, it automatically goes to the focus. It doesn't switch to an input like this search bar, but it actually goes in and highlights stuff and allows for you to edit, as opposed to this thing is not in focus, right? I click into it. Okay, now I'm in focus on the input, right? So there's a two-stage step here, right? Like being able to click in and then actually focusing, right? So I didn't have React hooked forms, and I think board title forms shows actually here a server action, right? We have action here. This would be where a server action goes. I've now upgraded, so I don't, I hesitate to call it upgrading. Personally, I think it's an upgrade. Some people can argue till they're blue in the face that server actions are better. In my opinion, no. But, I'm just trying to change it, and this is what happens when you're modifying code. You actually see weird bits like this, where you go back and fix stuff. And, in the process of me actually building up my own walkthrough where I go through and detail how I'm building this project for other people to be able to build, I'm noticing, oh, crap, they're incomplete stuff like this. So if we go over to the board title form, right, so it's highlighted, and then if I modify something, right, well, we actually have an error here, so I'm not actually 100% sure. I didn't expect an error. On submit form data dot get name. Oh yeah, I switched it to this inline input. I don't know if that's causing some issues. But what I actually, here's the online, the inline input was my answer to, hey, this thing, like, it only has one input, right? Like this, a list header only had one input. So I was like, do I need to really make it into a full form and provide all the buttons and stuff like that? And to be honest, all I really need is to have this be put into here, remove this server action, and then is there an extra thing somewhere? Maybe like an on submit? Like an on submit. But on submit and provide on submit, and then you have like update list would be changed to update board name, etc., etc. So, these are a couple of design decisions, but ultimately I think I'm just going to wrap everything into React hook forms. So basically providing form to this, right? And this was a thing that I constantly was like, what do you mean there's like a bunch of errors with hooks or with forms and whatever when I was using it. Like, because it defaults to React hooked forms, the package, instead of the code that is actually in your project. I was importing React hook form from React hook forms instead of the shad cn one. You need the shad cn one. So that was a bunch of really weird. I think it was like 20 errors all at once, which is not fun. So I need to create form here. So yeah, there we go. Thank you. Windsurf autocomplete. The only redeeming quality, but definitely not worth the money. I mean, technically I'm on the free version, so nowadays, because I canceled the thing. But yeah. So const form lowercase form schema is equal to z.object. Yeah, something like that. Cool. Oh, and I need, yes, thank you. Anything else that I need? Yes, form schema. So we don't have that syntax anymore. We don't need that, actually. We can do form data dot, and then do the same thing down here. Cool. And, yep. And that should fix it. I mean, I'm not going to go through all the testing bits, but overall, just wanted to detail like some of my thought process going through and dealing with this migration into React Hooked form. We don't need this anymore, apparently. And so, yeah, hopefully this was interesting and helpful for a lot of people as they were thinking through different bits of code and, you know, thinking about like, okay, this is how I am approaching. Oh, by the way, there needs to be a form field here. Okay. If I'm doing a full React hook forms here, then I'm going to use form input instead of inline input. So, I guess I'll just finish the migration. Yeah, so that's form input. And so, let's see, form field. And it has a control, form.control, name. Okay. Yeah, that works. I can get rid of this one. Is that 6? I think we're missing some stuff. Is disabled needed? Probably input and default values will be provided by the other thing. So, okay. Great. So I think that should have... So I do 1. There we go. And then if I changed it back, we're all good. I need to add in all the other, like, on blur. This one's not right, I believe. I need to make it look like this. So, yeah, there's a bunch of stuff. So, yeah, like a disable editing on the on blur. Anyways, got to end the video somewhere. So this is where we'll end it. Hopefully, yes, as I said before, this is helpful in seeing the thought process of how I was breaking down, going through stuff. Refactors happen. There's a lot of things to consider. And, you know, hopefully this video is informative. So, thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you want to see more cool coding videos like this one. And until next time, everyone, build a lot of cool stuff. I'd love to see all the links in the comments down below of all the cool stuff that you're doing. Goodbye.